Power is the only security. You're so insecure that you escape your reality with drugs. You need a tampon to, stop the internal bleeding within you. You're so insecure that, when you bring your girl out in public, you're so afraid of if she's looking at someone else. You're so insecure. And the reason you're insecure is because you lack power. And power is the cure to your insecurity, because power is the only security. And the definition of power is to be able to control and to navigate towards specific outcomes. So if you are not powerful in your life, meaning you are not controlling your life to navigate itself towards specific outcomes, if you are not navigating yourself towards the body you need this shit. So get on the fucking program, start counting your fucking macros, because you look like a sloppy bitch. So remember that you only live once. And if you're not becoming that power, that source emanation of your reality and reflecting power in every metric, so your wallet is power, your body is power, the way you speak, the way you introduce when you meet people, the way you socialize, the way you interact, the interactions you have reflect power. You have to be power as an individual. So when we look at you, who are you? When we look at the identification of which you identify with, which is your identity, and what you identify with is you. So remember that your consciousness is formless. And if you're not creating the individual that you want to be, then there's something wrong with your mental, your mental capacity, your mental ability. Your metaphysical arsenal is empty. So get on the program and let's get your mental right, because the moment you get your mental right, it reflects in the spiritual and in the physical, and from above, so it will reflect below, right? But that's a whole different level of, esotericism, and, that's a different level of just intellectual prowess. But back to on topic, if you're not being that what you want to be, right? So let's say we get into a social, situation where you want to express yourself authentically and be who you are, who you're meant to be, but then you stop yourself and you limit yourself, thus becoming your own limitation. So now you are a limitation to yourself because you are insecure. So when we look at insecurity as an issue, as a problem in your life, insecurity is really limiting you to not surpass your limitation, because you are impeding surpassing that limitation. So you become the blockage of your own river, aka flow of life. So the flow of life that is supposed to flow within you is supposed to, ruminate into, dwell, the Holy Spirit, it's supposed to dwell within you. You're supposed to express that. You're supposed to reflect that into the external world, aka existence. And, you're so insecure that you became the blockage to the own flow river of life. So you're walking around as your own blockage, and then, you're projecting that when it comes to certain situations. When you see someone that's better than you, you can't do anything but be envious. You can't do anything but have hatred for that individual who's reflecting more power than you, because that individual is more powerful than you, more potent than you, more potentialized and actualized than you. But then instead of looking at yourself and reflecting, you start externally projecting. And so when we look at individuals who don't reflect, they always project. And that projection is just a reflection of what they neglect, which is their self and their mental health. And, to not maximize yourself in every metric of existence, to not push past that threshold, to not maximize your capacity, whether that's reading a book, whether that's doing 5 extra more push-ups. It's like you're not gonna be a millionaire tomorrow, but the moment you let that snowball start rolling down the hill, start rolling down the mountain, you're gonna slowly, move towards your goal. You're gonna slowly start attracting what you are, which what you are is the pursuit. You're pursuing development, so you're going to attract development, because you are what you attract. And that's why, when we look at certain individuals, it's like they're Sisyphus and they never get up the mountain with the boulder. They're always pushing the boulder up the mountain, but they never seem to get there. It's because they are what they attract. So if you want to attract better things in your life, it starts with the development. If you are not personally developing, which is evolution, which is, every fucking organism on planet Earth, right? The fucking monkey is evolving, right? The fucking chimpanzee is evolving. So if you're not fucking evolving, then there's a problem with you And the reason you're not evolving is because you are the problem. And if you are the problem, it means you are the limit. If you are the limit, that means you have to delimit yourself by becoming the individual to not limit themselves by pursuing personal development. Because a lot of people are walking around as undone, crescents of what they could have been. A 10% individual that is walking around with 90% of their potential dormant. Their potential is so dormant within them that they are no longer potent. It's insidious. It's very self-deprivating. It's self-deprecating. It's self-depreciating. And you should probably look in the mirror and realize you only live once. And to not pursue that personal development and maximize yourself in every fucking metric of existence just shows how much of a bitch that you are, and how much you really could just go through life and float in the river, on the fucking ocean of the universe, and never think, okay, I'm floating in the ocean, but I need to actually go somewhere. Where's the destination? Okay, that's the destination. It's time to actually start moving towards that destination. All of you float through fucking life like a fucking float in the ocean, and then wonder why your life is so unfulfilling, a crescent of what it could have been, right? So when we look at a moon, right, and there's a full moon, and then there's a crescent of the moon, and you are actively being that crescent instead of just reflecting the sun within yourself, reflecting that vibrant, that light within you to shine forth and to fulfill that moon, which is you, because you're such an unfulfilled pussy because you neglect yourself in every fucking metric of fucking being a fucking primate in this fucking planet. So you're either gonna be like, fuck, I'm a bitch and I need to level up in life, or you're gonna remain that same low-level piece of shit, inferior primate, inferior fucking hominoid that's addicted, out of shape, never gonna actually make a move to develop their fucking life and maximize. Or you're gonna say, okay, I'm done with the bullshit, I'm done hitting the vape, I'm done, being a fucking low-level piece of shit, inferior primate of what not to be. This is where I'm going to start. I'm going to start by removing all my negative habits. I'm going to start by surplusing all my positive habits. And then I'm going to ensure that the job gets done so I don't die a low-level fuck that never actually absorbed the nectar of life, which is that daily pursuit of excellence, which you reflect through reflecting power in your existence instead of being a low-level inferior fucking bitch. So remember, again, you only live once, and you walk through life like you don't have a fucking list of negative habits that you're neglecting, and then you fucking project this piece of shit energy, this miserable fucking self-deprivation. When we look at your eyes, your fucking soul is in the midst of starvation because you're so intertwined and infested with daily procrastination and action fucking hesitation that you die, whatever the fuck that bitch in the mirror is. So, links in the description. The community is there. Go check out the Patreon post and, fill your brain with information and then apply the information instead of being a reservoir of untapped fucking potential. Because to have knowledge and to, not apply it is to be the epitome of stupidity. So, if you are, have some sort of intellectual prowess, if you have some sort of intellect, if you have some remnants of fucking consciousness and you're not applying it, to your daily habits, then you're really inferior and you're not intellectual at all. You're really just a hypocrite, and you reflect hypocrisy without taking fucking action and actualizing your potential. Peace.